Chapter 1 Super Wish System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom, that the next thing Yang Ling knew, he was flat on his back. He'd just burst into the chaotic bank and been smacked to the floor, seeing stars. Coming from a poor family, he'd gone straight to work after high school, landing a job as a patrol officer's assistant. 2 months in, and he walks into a bank robbery. The first thing that happens. Whack. Fire extinguisher to the head. As he lay there, fading fast, a voice popped into his head. Ding. Wish system successfully bound. Drawing new host gift package. Ding. Congratulations. Host receives second wish meeting. Dazed, Yang Ling couldn't process it. All he could think was, I don't want to die. Ding. Wish granted. Host receives skill, injury recovery. Description, host will recover from any trauma within 5 seconds. As the system voice faded, Yang Ling felt a surge of warmth. In a heartbeat, he was back. He touched his head, felt nothing, and jumped to his feet. Even a saint loses their temper eventually, and Yang Ling was no saint. Recovered and pissed, he yelled, Who the hell hit me? I'm gonna kill you. Ding. Wish granted. Host acquires skill, throwing mastery. Description, thrown objects have a 100% hit rate within the host's power range. Another warm surge, and Yang Ling grabbed the nearest fire extinguisher. Eat this. He roared, and hurled it at a masked robber. Boom, like a heat-seeking missile, the extinguisher slammed into the robber's forehead. He dropped like a stone, out cold, or worse, it all happened so fast. The panicked bank staff and the robbers alike were stunned by this uniformed kid who just sprung out of nowhere. One robber in pantyhose snapped to attention, yelled, and went for his gun. Yang Ling froze, there was nothing to throw. Panicked, he remembered the coin in his pocket. Ding. Throwing mastery activated. Thwack, faster than lightning, the coin shot straight into the robber's open mouth. The guy stiffened, clutched his throat, and went down, gagging and writhing. Boss, the last robber, a big guy, screamed and charged Yang Ling, brandishing a machete, adrenaline pumping after taking down 2 guys. Yang Ling was laser-focused. I wish I could beat this guy. He yelled in his head. Ding. Wish granted. Host acquires skill, Tai Chi mastery. Warmth surged through him as the fat robber barreled in. Use their own strength against them. Yang Ling grunted, sidestepped the blade, and tugged, throwing the guy off balance. Then, quick as a whip, he slapped the guy upside the head. The fat man looked back at Yang Ling, eyes wide with shock, didn't even manage a whimper, and collapsed, foaming at the mouth. Silence. Complete silence. Had this kid really just taken down a whole gang? The bank staff and huddled customers stared at the young officer, completely dumbstruck. It was awkward, to say the least. Ding. You have crushed the robber's wish to rob the bank. Attribute points for free distribution +1. Ding. You have fulfilled the wish of the on-site personnel to be rescued. Wish value +1. Description, when your wish value reaches 10, you can make a wish. Yang Ling was frozen, too. He listened to the system messages, a mix of confusion and excitement swirling inside him. System? What system? Am I gonna be rich? Chapter 2 The First Pot of Gold. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The bank alarm wailed as heavily armed SWAT officers stormed inside, only to freeze in their tracks. The masked robbers were all sprawled on the floor, one of them foaming at the mouth. Just then, a young cop rushed in. What the heck happened here? He asked, surprised. Immediately, a woman piped up, You're late. This guy took care of all the bad guys. This kid, the young officer eyed Yang Ling with suspicion. You did all this? Yang Ling, still reeling from the adrenaline and the system's power, felt a surge of confidence. He grinned. Just got lucky, I guess. The young officer's eyes widened in disbelief. He scanned the crowd, and after several nods of confirmation, clapped Yang Ling on the shoulder. "Nice work, kid. You're a hero. Which precinct are you with?" "What's your name?" Yang Ling snapped to attention. "Reporting for duty, sir." "Name's Yang Ling, fresh out of the academy." His upright posture and humble tone clearly impressed the officer, who gave a slight nod. "Yang Ling, huh? I'll remember that." Turning to the SWAT team, he barked, "Secure the scene. Search everyone, make sure no one slipped away. And get me the surveillance footage. I want to see this." Yang Ling didn't realize it yet, but he was talking to Song Baoyi, a big shot from the city bureau. After issuing his orders and reviewing the surveillance, Song Baoyi smiled at Yang Ling, clearly impressed. "Hey Yang, head still hurt? You did a great job, kid. We owe you one. Come on, sit with me for a bit." Yang Ling scratched his head, a little embarrassed. 2 hours later, Yang Ling was being admitted to S-City's First People's Hospital. Even though the tests came back clean, they insisted on keeping him for observation, the best ward in the place, courtesy of a workers' comp claim. Lying in the comfy hospital bed, he finally had time to check his stats. Host, Yang Ling strength, 8, adult male average, 10. Agility, 9, adult male average, 10, stamina, 9, adult male average, 10, charm, inactive, skills, probing eye, injury recovery mastery, throwing mastery, Taijiquan mastery, wishing slot, 1 out of 10. Free attribute points, 1. After a moment of consideration, Yang Ling dumped the point into agility. You know, just in case he needed to make a quick getaway, Yang Ling, the brave citizen who single-handedly took down a gang of robbers, was hailed as a model citizen in every newspaper and blog. Not a bad start for a young nobody just entering the workforce. He'd done well in school, but his family was too poor to send him to college, so he'd had to find a job. But now, with this reward money, he could go back and take the college entrance exams, or maybe even try starting his own business. The possibilities were endless, and best of all, he had a system. Donning his hospital gown, he grabbed a bunch of grapes from the bedside table and strolled out of his room, muttering to himself, "Probing eye, activate." Instantly, he noticed a young nurse down the hall glowing with a faint red light. Apparently, anyone glowing red under the probing eye had a wish weighing on them. Seeing the nurse looking flustered, he walked over. "Miss, is everything all right?" he asked politely. Chapter 3. Look in the mirror yourself. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Okay, so this new nurse is fresh out of school, right? Super cute and innocent. When she heard about the missing vial, she was all flustered, like, the patient's anesthesia is gone. What am I gonna do? The head nurse is gonna kill me if I can't find it. Anesthetic, huh? That I glanced around and spotted something. Quietly, I told her, hold still. Huh? That the poor thing jumped but froze in place. I reached past her ear, and with the little nurse blushing like crazy, I peeled a piece of tape off the back of her collar. Lo and behold, there was the vial stuck to it. I held it up. Looking for this? She blinked, totally shocked, then her face lit up. Oh. Yeah, that's it. I grinned, handing her the vial. You've got talent, hiding the anesthetic on your collar. She blushed even harder, grabbed the vial, mumbled a quick thanks, and hurried off towards one of the rooms. Hey, wait, I didn't even get your name. But she was already gone. Ding. Fulfilled nurse's wish. Wish value +1 star. Take it easy, I said to myself, feeling pretty good. I was about to wander around when 2 nurses walked up. One of them, maybe 25 or so, smirked. What, are you her boyfriend or something? I blinked, surprised. I don't even know her. What's it to you? If you don't know her, but out. Oh, definitely trouble brewing. I narrowed my eyes, a half-smile playing on my lips. You know, I was wondering, even the biggest airhead wouldn't stick anesthesia to their collar. Looks like that was your little prank. So what if it was? The other nurse chimed in, dripping with sarcasm. You just got lucky. Who do you think you are, sticking your nose in? Look at who lives here, honey, you're not worthy. That I actually did look around then. The whole floor was quiet, and the decor was way nicer than any regular hospital ward. Rich folks or VIPs, for sure, man, these guys are treating me like royalty. Ah, I said, finally getting it. Only big shots live here. That little nurse is way prettier than you, so she's got a better shot at catching a big fish. And that is preventing you from catching the golden turtle son-in-law. You're jealous, so you played that trick to try and get her transferred, right? And now I've messed with your plan, so you're here to give me a hard time, that the first nurse scoffed. Pretty. She's an idiot. Ha 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 ha. That was kind of funny. I pointed to a mirror down the hall. Go take a look. If she's not pretty, what does that make you? You, thought both of them glared at me. Just then, the system chimed in. Asterisk ding. Shattered nurses wish to play a trick. Attribute point +1, star dot asterisk ding. Shattered their wish to mock you. Attribute point +1, star, seeing them speechless and getting 2 attribute points for it, I just laughed and kept walking, watching me go. One of the nurses sneered, just got lucky, what a. Suddenly, something flew through the air and landed right in her mouth, a grape. I stood down the hall, holding up a bunch of grapes. Sometimes, without strength, luck won't favor you. The nurse spat out the grape, and the two of them exchanged a look of pure fear as they watched me walk away. Chapter 4 Ex-Girlfriend. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yang Ling stepped into the elevator and instantly felt an itch on his neck. He swatted it, killing a mosquito dead. Ding! You've crushed the mosquito's desire for a blood meal, gaining +1 attribute point. Huh? Seriously? Yang Ling was momentarily stunned, then burst out laughing. If swatting mosquitoes earned attribute points, he'd be swimming in them. The system chimed in, ding dong. You can only earn 2 attribute points per day from non-human creatures. Yang Ling's smile faded. The system's a real buzzkill, he muttered. He helped a nurse move a hospital bed on the elevator, and after a wish, stepped outside the inpatient building into the complete darkness, wandering into a small hospital park. Yang Ling, seeing he was alone, pulled up his attribute panel. Now that he had an attribute point, hoarding it felt pointless. After a moment's hesitation, he allocated 1 point to strength and 2 to agility. His current stats: host, Yang Ling strength, 9. Agility, 12. Constitution, 10. Charm, inactive. After the allocation, a warm current surged through his limbs, an indescribably pleasant sensation. Taking a deep breath, he grabbed a few stones from the ground and threw them as hard as he could. Ding! Throwing mastery skill activated. Thwack! That with a muffled sound, a stone struck a tree branch about thumb thick in the distance, making it sway. Yang Ling's emotions were mixed. He was pleased with his throwing accuracy, basically a guaranteed hit. But his strength was lacking. He couldn't even snap the branch. Humans always want to improve and grow stronger, and Yang Ling was no different. He considered investing more points into strength in the future. Suddenly, a man's voice broke the silence. Well, visiting someone and running into an old acquaintance. Isn't it Yang Ling? Playing in the dirt tonight? Yang Ling frowned and turned around, surprised by what he saw. The speaker was accompanied by a woman. The man, in his 20s, was well-dressed and handsome. The woman looked about 18 or 19, dressed in a simple dress with long hair, a real knockout. The girl looked at Yang Ling with a trace of awkwardness. After a pause, she greeted him. Yang Ling, long time no see. Yang Ling sighed inwardly. This beautiful girl was Fang Yue, his high school sweetheart. Sadly, she dumped him to date a rich kid to attend Donghua University, the best university in the province and one of the best in the country, and the young man beside Fang Yue was her trust fund boyfriend, Tian Zhuyan, the son of the chairman of the Tian Group. Rumor had it his family was worth $1 billion. Yang Ling looked at Fang Yue silently, his eyes betraying a flicker of emotion beneath his calm exterior. Seeing his ex-girlfriend stirred up a complex mix of feelings. After a moment, he simply nodded a greeting, then turned to leave. Fang Yue watched Yang Ling's retreating figure, a hint of sadness crossing her face. Tianzhuyan, standing beside her, scowled. He was talking to Yang Ling, and this kid just blew him off. He felt insulted. Hold up, Tianzhuyan called out. Yang Ling stopped and turned, looking at him impassively. What? Something you need? Chapter 5 You Dare to Hit Me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Just a heads up for a second, Tianzhuyan and Fang Yue were both taken aback. They remembered Yang Ling as someone who used to be a little spineless. Back then, he avoided confrontations with even the stronger students in school, let alone Tianzhuyan, but now, his calm eyes and indifferent tone made him seem like a completely different person. Tianzhuyan even caught a glimpse of contempt in Yang Ling's eyes, which really ticked him off. He sneered, well, look who it is. A little over half a year and you're all changed. So you think you're hot stuff now that you're a glorified mall cop? Let me tell you something, trash is trash. Take it from me, you won't even be a police assistant for long. Seeing that Tianzhuyan was getting worked up, Fang Yue chimed in, easy, Yan, just let it go, alright? He's already down on his luck. We're never gonna see him again anyway. Come on, let's go. Those words seemed to calm Tianzhuyan down a bit. Seeing that Yang Ling remained silent, he sneered, for a second there, I thought you had some guts, but you're still just a coward, huh? I'll let it slide this time on Yue's account, so get out of the way. This young master's got a garden to see. Before he could finish his sentence, there was a loud, sharp smack from the garden path, smack, Yang Ling had slapped Tianzhuyan clean off his feet. Silence. An almost unbearable silence. Fang Yue was stunned, and so was Tianzhuyan, who was on the ground clutching his cheek. Yang Ling said casually, my bad. Must have been a mosquito buzzing in my ear, and I just reacted. Hope I didn't hurt you too bad, Mr. Tian. His easy expression, calm voice, and condescending gaze made it seem like, to Yang Ling, Tianzhuyan really was just a mosquito. You hit me? Tianzhuyan finally snapped. Bodyguards. Where the hell are you guys? Get him. Before he could finish, Yang Ling slapped him again. Smack. Another crisp sound. One of Tianzhuyan's teeth broke and flew out. He was back on the ground, half his face swollen. Yang Ling looked down at him and sneered, those summer mosquitoes are a real pain, aren't they? If they keep buzzing, you gotta shut them up for good. A threat. A blatant one. Tianzhuyan was stunned. Fang Yue covered her mouth, staring in disbelief. Just then, Tianzhuyan's two bodyguards in black suits finally rushed over. One helped their boss up, and the other, the taller one, threw a punch straight at Yang Ling. Oh, you're gonna try that? Yang Ling smirked. He still had 2 stones left over from the earlier game. His eyes flashed, and he fired them off one after the other. Ding, throwing mastery skill activated. Current hit rate, 100%. Thump, the first stone hit the bodyguard square in the forehead, shattering his sunglasses. The second stone hit him right in the knee. His legs buckled, and the bodyguard stumbled toward Yang Ling. Seizing his chance, Yang Ling stepped forward and punched the bodyguard right in the face. His strength may have been only 10 points, which is in the normal range, but that punch made the bodyguard see stars. He collapsed to the ground with a howl. With his agility at 11 points, Yang Ling was a little quicker than before. Taking advantage of his opponent's vulnerability, he kicked him in the gut. The bodyguard went down hard, totally out of commission. Chapter 6 Send this woman to me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Whoa! Another bodyguard, who was squatting to help his young master, went wide-eyed. Before he could even blink, he was eating shoe leather. Thwack. The bodyguard's head snapped back from the solid kick and he went down hard, out cold. It all happened in a flash, maybe 10 seconds total. Tianzhuyan was floored. His jaw practically hit the ground. He'd paid a fortune for these bodyguards, and they were getting taken out like chumps. Fang Yue was staring at Yang Ling, her mind blown. The contrast was insane. The image of the weak, unassuming guy she thought she knew was crumbling. In its place stood this intense, intimidating dude. Tianjin saw Yang Ling heading his way, and his legs turned to jelly. He couldn't even think about running. He stammered, "You're not Yang Ling. There's no way you're that Yang Ling." "No way." Yang Ling smirked, "People change. I didn't give you the time of day before, but you just had to push it." He towered over Tianjin, a look in his eyes that could kill. What are you doing?" Tianjin was scared, really scared. He pleaded, "Money. I'll give you money. Please, don't hurt me." "Money?" Yang Ling scoffed. "I don't want your money." He pointed at Fang Yue. "Hand her over, and I'll let you walk. Otherwise, I'm breaking your legs." "What?" Fang Yue gasped. She couldn't believe Yang Ling would make that kind of demand. She instinctively looked at Tianjin, begging in her heart that he wouldn't trade her off like some object. Tianjin was speechless for a second. He glanced at Yang Ling, smirking, then at Fang Yue, tears streaming down her face. In the end, fear won over any sense of loyalty. He gave a tiny nod. Barely perceptible. "Oh." Fang Yue couldn't hold back the sobs anymore. But Yang Ling just laughed, a harsh, bitter sound. "Ha ha ha ha. Tian, you're killing me. You think I was serious? You really would have gone for that? Who do you think I am? I wouldn't take that used goods if you paid me." The words were like poison. Fang Yue's heart twisted in her chest, and she gasped for air. Just then, the bodyguard Yang Ling had kicked suddenly sprang to life, spinning around and lashing out at Yang Ling with a brutal kick. Even though the system had buffed Yang Ling, he was still just a regular guy. He barely had time to throw up his arms to block. The kick sent Yang Ling flying backward, slamming into a tree with a thud. This bodyguard was a pro. A kick to the head hadn't kept him down. He'd waited for Yang Ling to drop his guard, then ambushed him. Seeing this, Tianjin leaped up, cackling like a maniac. "Yang Ling, this guy's iron leg. That kick can shatter bones. You dared to humiliate me. You're dead. You're so dead. Break his leg. I'll deal with the fallout." The bodyguard, still a little dazed, nodded to Tianjin and lumbered toward Yang Ling. The tables had turned. Fang Yue was numb from the roller coaster of emotions. She looked at Yang Ling, tears blurring her vision, not knowing what to do. Just then, a voice echoed in Yang Ling's head, even as he struggled to get up. Ding! Injury recovery skill activated. A surge of warmth washed over him, instantly healing him. He opened his eyes and slowly stood tall, his eyes burning with rage. "Tianjin, did I hear you say you were going to break my leg?" Chapter 7. My name is Yang Ling, the Fierce Ling. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wait a sec. Hiss. Tianjin and his bodyguard both gasped. No way. No freaking way, Yang Ling, you. Tianjin was so freaked out he could barely speak. The bodyguard, to his credit, recovered quickly and charged, aiming a kick at Yang Ling's head. Ding, Tai Chi proficiency activated. Yang Ling dodged the kick, swaying back like a weeble, then spun around and went for the bodyguard's legs to break his balance, but the guy was surprisingly steady. The kick only made him wobble a bit. He didn't go down. Looks like Yang Ling still needs to build up his strength. However, his newly mastered Tai Chi allowed him to improvise. With lightning speed, Yang Ling grabbed the bodyguard's bare foot and yanked. Whump! The bodyguard lost his footing and crashed to the ground. Seized the moment. Yang Ling followed up with a hard kick to the head, knocking him out cold. One down. If the rock incident was luck, this was pure skill. Tianjin's face went white as a ghost. Gone was his arrogance. He slumped to the ground, staring at Yang Ling in terror. Fang Yue was trembling too. She couldn't believe her ex, the guy she saw as a loser, was capable of this. By now, a crowd had gathered, their eyes wide. That dude's a badass. Is he, like, a ninja? Wow, a guy like that would be great to have watching your back. Murmurs of amazement rippled through the crowd. Yang Ling ignored them, stalking towards Tianjuan, clearly intending to make good on his threat. Tianjuan was shaking like a leaf, tears welling up in his eyes. He watched Yang Ling approach, shaking his head frantically. No, don't come any closer. Yang Ling's rage had completely taken over. Reaching Tianjuan, he looked down at him, slowly raising his foot. An eye for an eye. It's leg-breaking time. He lifted his foot to stomp on the guy's calf. But then, Fang Yue suddenly darted forward, grabbing his arm. Her voice was shaky. Yang Ling, don't do this. Please. Yang Ling glanced at her, and some of his sanity returned. If he did it, he could be charged with assault, or worse, earn the eternal enmity of the Tian group. He had no power, no connections. He couldn't take on Tianjuan and his wealthy family. He looked at Fang Yue, his expression softening. I get it. Good. But before Fang Yue could fully relax, she heard the rest of what Yang Ling had to say. But I'm Yang Ling, and I'm all about payback. With that, he brought his foot down. Crack, the sound of a bone snapping echoed through the air, followed by Tianjuan's agonizing scream. Yang Ling had just broken Tianjuan's leg. Hiss. A collective gasp went through the crowd. Some of the onlookers who'd been thinking about intervening now took a step back. This baby-faced kid was hardcore. *Ding. You have shattered Tianjuan's wish to mock you. Attribute point +1 ***. Ding. You have shattered the two bodyguards' wish to teach you a lesson. Attribute point +1 ***. Ding. You have shattered Tianjuan's wish not to have his leg broken. Attribute point +1 ***. Ding. You have fulfilled the onlooker's wish to see some action. Wish value +1 ***. Ding. You have shattered the onlooker's wish to dissuade you from fighting. Attribute point +1 ***. Currently available attribute points, for *** current wish fulfillment progress /10 ***. Chapter 8 Then I can only kill him. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The system kept beeping. Yang Ling glanced at Tianjuan, who was groaning on the ground, and smirked. So, whose leg's broken now? The audience was silent, except for Tianjuan's continued wails. Yang Ling took another look at Tianjuan, still screaming, and Fang Yue, who looked stunned. Just as he was about to leave, a young woman in a police uniform pushed through the crowd. She looked to be in her early 20s, with a striking and dignified appearance, radiating a heroic aura. A real police beauty, and a real looker, too. She walked forward, surveyed the scene, and frowned. Yang Ling, what's going on here? This was Su Qiuxiao, captain of the Patrol Police Brigade's second team, and Yang Ling's immediate supervisor. She was known around the precinct as an ice queen, strict with her subordinates and even stricter with herself. Yang Ling was taken aback when he saw her. His cocky attitude vanished instantly. He chuckled and said, Captain Su, what brings you here? Just dealing with a little disagreement. Disagreement? Su Qiuxia frowned slightly. She'd just arrived and hadn't seen what Yang Ling had done. Just then, Tianjuan, still on the ground, saw Su Qiuxia and acted like he'd spotted his personal savior. Officer Su. I'm Tianjuan. This punk broke my leg and tried to kill me. Arrest him now. Huh? Su Qiuxia turned to Yang Ling, her voice low. What the hell is going on? Yang Ling sighed. It's a long story, Captain. Let's get these guys to the doctor first. Su Qiuxia nodded slightly and addressed the paramedics and security guards who were standing by. We've got injuries here. Get the wounded taken care of. Everyone snapped into action. Some went to find a stretcher, others prepared to carry the injured. As he was being loaded onto the stretcher, Tianjuan howled, Su Qiuxiao. Our company pays a ton in taxes every year. Don't I deserve some answers? Su Qiuxia's eyes narrowed. She looked at Tian Zhuyan and said sternly, Mr. Tian, paying taxes is the duty of every citizen. We're the police, not your personal security detail. What answers are you expecting? I'm off duty right now. The proper procedure is for you to call the police, and officers will be dispatched to handle it. Her words were firm and just, brooking no compromise. Tian Zhuyan looked resentful. He glared at Su Qiuxia, then fixed his gaze on Yang Ling. Yang Ling, I'll sue you into bankruptcy. I'll see you rot in jail. We'll see about that, Yang Ling said casually. Summer brings out all the bugs, and they can be really annoying. If any mosquito dares to buzz in my ear again, I might just have to swat it. His voice grew cold, his eyes sharpening once more. Tian Zhuyan felt a surge of fear, compounded by the throbbing pain in his broken leg. Overcome with humiliation, pain, and dread, he fainted. Fang Yue wiped her tears, glanced at Yang Ling, and quickly followed the stretcher. With the spectacle over, the crowd began to disperse, many casting fearful glances at Yang Ling as they left. Su Qiuxia asked, Yang Ling, are you okay up here? She tapped her head. Yang Ling chuckled. Thanks for your concern, Captain. I'm fine. All right, walk with me. Under the bright moonlight in the hospital garden, Su Qiuxia frowned and asked, what exactly happened back there? You really broke Tian Zhuyan's leg? Chapter 9 Beauty Greetings. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No biggie, Yang Ling said with a slight smile, touching his nose. Just catching up with an old friend. Catching up, huh? Su Qiuxia gave a tight little smile, not wanting to pry. She looked at Yang Ling. Since you became a hero, I did some digging and saw the stories about you, Tian Zhuyan, and Fang Yue. Now that you've broken some guy's leg and there's legal stuff going on, can you even afford a lawyer? Yang Ling was taken aback, then said calmly, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I'll figure something out. Seeing Yang Ling's relaxed grin, Su Qiuxia sighed softly. I'll let Director Song know about this. Maybe he can help you find a solution. Also, I saw the bank robbery surveillance video. Were you doing Tai Chi? Yang Ling already had an excuse ready. He nodded. Learned it from a master back home when I was a kid. Guess it came in handy. Su Qiuxia studied Yang Ling, seeing no panic in his expression. After a moment, she nodded. Makes sense, I guess. With your skills, don't go down the wrong path. And don't go looking for trouble, got it? Yang Ling smiled. Don't worry, I won't go looking for it. Ding. You gave an affirmative answer and satisfied Su Qiuxia's wish. Wish value +1. Current progress, April 10th. Seriously, Yang Ling was thrilled and changed the subject. So, Captain, what brings you here? Su Qiuxia shot him an annoyed look. Seeing that look, Yang Ling's heart skipped a beat, and he blushed slightly. Su Qiuxia ignored his reaction and said casually, just stopped by after work to check in. Oh, and to tell you that the robber was a repeat offender. You really did good work. A repeat offender? Yang Ling was surprised. Like, the guy who did those serial robberies years ago? Su Qiuxia nodded. Probably ran out of money, decided to try again. Oh, and word came down from City Hall. Once the bigwigs free up, they're gonna swing by your place and offer their thanks. So get ready after you're discharged. Wait, what? Yang Ling stared, then gave a wry smile. He wasn't thrilled about the attention, but that was just how things were done. Looking at the police officer beside him, he was puzzled. You could have just called me about this. Did you really need to come all the way here? Then it hit him, he had done a big thing by catching a serial robber, but he was still just a civilian. A reward and some recognition were about as good as it would get, but Su Qiuxia, as his captain, was different. She had a career track. This victory would land squarely on her shoulders. She was here to thank him, but too embarrassed to say it directly. Seeing Yang Ling looking at her with a knowing grin, Su Qiuxia blushed slightly, but didn't look back. I owe you one. Since you're all good, I'll get going. And with that, she turned to leave. Ding! You shattered Su Qiuxia's wish to conceal her gratitude. Attribute point +1. Watching her go, Yang Ling laughed and called out, "Hey, Captain, don't show up empty-handed when you visit a patient. Remember the fruit." "I like grapes." Su Qiuxia paused and glanced back at Yang Ling, who was grinning. Her face reddened further, and she hurried away. Chapter 10 Make Me Rich. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After saying goodbye to the cute cop, Yang Ling didn't head straight back to his room. He'd picked up 4 attribute points from the Tianzhuiyan case, and then Su Qiuxia kicked in another one. That gave him a total of 5 points to play with. After thinking it over, he bumped up his strength by 2, dexterity by 2, and constitution by 1. Now his stats looked a lot better. Strength, 11. Agility, 1. Stamina, 11. Glamour, inactive. Now his strength and physique were a bit above average for a grown man, and his 1 point in agility put him on par with a decent athlete. Grinning, he activated his wish-seeing ability. He knew that anything with a desire would glow red, but what he saw stunned him. Was there too much red? The whole garden was practically vibrating with red light. He went to check out the closest source and found a bunch of ants lugging a grasshopper. "You guys have a wish too?" Yang Ling chuckled and tossed the grasshopper right into the ant colony. Ding! You fulfilled the ant's wish to carry food. Wish value +1. Current progress, June 10th. Ding! You fulfilled the carp's wish to be fed. Wish value +1. Ding dong! You can only get 2 wish points per day from non-human creatures. Limit reached. Figures. Yang Ling laughed. Since he was capped on animals, he turned his attention to the area outside the garden, but he quickly ran into a problem. Plenty of people had wishes, but not all of them were easy to grant. Some folks wanted to get better, some wanted to strike it rich. Bottom line, he couldn't help most of them, he just didn't have the power. Luckily, he caught a break. He scored 2 wish points from the cleaning lady, and then stumbled upon a little girl who'd wandered off on his floor. Late that night, after helping a security guard who'd accidentally taken a swim while on patrol, he finally hit his quota. Ding! Your current wish progress is October 10th. You may now make a wish. Yang Ling was hyped. He ducked into a secluded spot, took a deep breath, and shouted in his head, "System, give me $10 trillion right now. I'm gonna be richer than God," he figured, go big or go home. Ding! Wish failed. The host's wish can only strengthen a personal skill or physical attribute. It cannot alter the outside world. Please make a new wish. What the hell? Yang Ling went ballistic. You can't even swing that much dough. You're a garbage wish-granting system. A total rip-off. Ding! Please remain calm, host. Remain calm. Suddenly, the words "remain calm" were echoing in Yang Ling's brain, like some kind of mantra. He was speechless. After a minute, Yang Ling sighed. Guess he wasn't going to get rich or become all-powerful overnight. He sat down on a park bench, and after racking his brain, he decided to focus on college first. He wanted to get into a top university. Education was a stepping stone, something he could use down the road. His dreams needed a good foundation. After a long pause, he said seriously, "I want to be a top scholar." Ding! Top scholar is a general concept. You must choose a specific academic discipline to enhance. Are you kidding me? He couldn't help but curse out loud. The national college entrance exam was at the end of June. That gave him less than 2 weeks. There were 6 subjects. He didn't have a chance in hell of squeezing in 6 wishes in that time.